one of the ministers in the last day or so said they want to declare coal a strategic asset in this country. It was published in the newspapers because they see this worldwide demand as being a threat to coal availability in this country. Again, going back to power supply, how are you going to supply power in this country without coal? Eskom is going to be in a corner. It has negative connotations to coal, very negative connotations. And we try very hard in our presentation to put more positive spin on it, whilst recognizing there is bad things to it. I mean, Kusile, which is being built right near our mine, is going to have the most up-to-date filters of any power station in this country to prevent a lot of these impurities, the sulfurs, etc., blowing off into the atmosphere. Plus, they're getting higher quality coal. Remember, the lower grade your coal, the more pollution it is. So Eskom going for higher grades of coal is going to reduce the carbon footprint, without a doubt. And Eskom have acknowledged this. I don't know the figures, but just drive past the townships, which in 1996 or 94, when I started in the coal business, had no power. We used to supply roughly 1,000 tons a day from one mine, when we were traders, into one township a day in winter. You know what pollution that was? Today, if we supply 100 tons, it's a lot. Not even 100 tons. Why? Because Eskom have electrified all the townships. It's fine to turn around and say, don't fund coal power stations. I mean, the World Bank was nailed because they're funding Eskom here. Don't fund coal power stations. So, excuse me, what's the answer? What must they invest their money in to ensure we get power now? Not in 50 years' time when they've sorted out carbon capture and storage and they've sorted out wind and they've sorted out all the other renewable energies. People need power now. Rather than people shouting about Eskom and the coal business, they should recognize what part it has to play in alleviating a lot of the problems in the country. The future of energy in the world is coal. I mean, the World Bank, the IMF, they are very concerned about power poverty alleviation worldwide. Now, if you want to alleviate power poverty like they did in China, where they urbanized all the rural people, I think they had something like 30% of the Chinese had access to power. 80% of them now have access to power. The IMF and the World Bank have recognized that access to power has a direct relationship to longevity of life. So they are focusing on power poverty alleviation. And when you look at the graphs of energy available worldwide to resolve this issue, coal is the only one that can resolve this issue. As much as greenhouse gas emissions are important, and we feel the same way, also look after the environment, but we've got to find clean coal technologies. Without clean coal technology, the environmental problems are going to remain. However, what I'm saying to you is the future of energy in the world is coal. Wind farms, yes. Renewables, yes. The only, and there's not much known about it, but the only maybe alternative is fracking of gas. You know, the fracking they want to do in the Karoo and digging gas out of that. That might be cost effective as compared to coal, but that's years down the road. So the coal industry is here to remain. We've got to live with that. We've got to understand that, and we must make the best of it.